Well, I thought I should come on here and make a quick video. So, welcome back to another coffee and a chat. So, the last two videos have been about some challenges that we're going through and some things that have happened, not because anybody, well, that's not totally true. For the most part, not because anybody did anything wrong or didn't do their job or whatever, but just because sometimes things happen in life, and sometimes mail doesn't get delivered that needs to get delivered, and forms don't get taken, put where they need to be. Yeah, and it's been really overwhelming. And then, I shared with you, I think in yesterday's video, about out of James 1, chapter 1, verses 2-4, and about how we're to consider it all joy when we encounter various trials and tribulations, and basically knowing that it does a work in us and it produces endurance. And endurance, when it's completed its job, then we're lacking nothing. And yeah, but it's still hard to go through. So today I spent the day getting some of those things resolved. And the internet situation, we've lived with a sketchy internet for a few years. And and you call it in, when you can't fix it yourself, when rebooting it doesn't do the job, and then they'll do things remotely. But this last time when we had the issue, the gal said, I think why don't I just send a technician out to take a look at things? And so that technician came out. Now, not quite 3 years ago, they changed the modems that they're using. And so they had brought us a different modem, and they had to make some changes on connections and things coming into the house and whatnot. I mean, I don't understand it all. I just know there was a bunch of stuff they were supposed to do outside that would make the modem work properly. And so the guy who came to set up our modem at that time, we were the last call of the day. I think it was like Friday. The weekend was ready to start. He was tired. He didn't really want to come do his call here, but he had to. So, and he was letting us know all about it. Well, he also had said that he was supposed to climb the pole, but he didn't really feel like climbing the pole. Everything seemed to be fine, so we wasn't going to worry about that. And he switched out the stuff at the connection at the house and left it at that. Well, so it turns out he needed to climb that pole and change some stuff out. And so what has been happening is, like, when there's extreme, I'm trying to remember what the technician who was here was trying to explain it to me, but extreme weather changes, extreme temperature changes. And see, that's when this went crazy, was suddenly our temperature was 30 degrees cooler since the day before. It was a drastic drop in temperature. And that's when it started messing up. And he said, yeah, it causes an interference with receiving the full signal. And, and it would start knocking things off, and you'd have to, So anyway, it is resolved enough that our internet is working much better, and the rest of the issues will be taken care of by the maintenance crew here in the next 24 to 48 hours. And then it shouldn't be an issue until, they upgrade their equipment again, I suppose. See, this is why I don't like them to change stuff. The other was working just fine, and, then they get the new and improved, and we got all kinds of problems. Then the financial thing, I was able to go someplace in person to a little town by here to go talk to somebody about this. And you guys, I was prepared to be there all day. I was full of anxiety of how I was even going to have to explain this whole thing all over again and I didn't even know if I had the right form, because the woman I talked to on the phone gave me the wrong information on some of the stuff. So now I wasn't sure about anything, and I just wanted somebody to look at it and go, yeah, this is what you're supposed to do. Yes, it's filled out right. Here's where you send it. So Marvin and I go in there because my husband's awesome. And like 3 clicks on the computer, she's like, okay, it's taken care of. I'm like, what? That can't be real. I mean, I spent hours on the phone talking to people. She goes, yeah, She goes, she goes, I can put it right in the system here and correct it. I go, so, but I'm still going to get charged for a few months. No, I don't think so. I just corrected it all. So it shouldn't be an issue. You're good. And so I'm like, could you check it again? Can I have something from you that says that it's corrected? I'm like, it can't be this easy. And I don't know, she was laughing too, but she seemed pretty confident. And if there is a problem, I know I can go right back there now. So anyway, I think that is all resolved. Like, we weren't even in there a full 10 minutes waiting or anything. So we're just walking out going, this is crazy. This can't be right. And praising God the whole way. And I was singing. And then, so some of you know that if I'm singing, that's a good sign. And so now let's see. I think the only other thing that is really severely impacted us is my car that's not working. But Marvin's on his way to go get that, and he's going down the road right now to talk to because it's getting late in the day. I don't even know what time it is, and so he's going to go talk to the mechanic and see if he can bring it in tomorrow and have them hook it up to the computer and make sure that we've got everything figured out that needs to be figured out, and then we'll get the parts, and because God's going to take care of that too, and we knew that was coming. So back when I used to be a counselor, I used to tell my clients that would get, that were like me, and they'd be like, oh, what if this happens or what if that? And I'm so worried, and I used to tell them, because this is true. I just can't remember if it's 90% or 95% now. But anyway, let's go with the 95, because I'm thinking that's probably the right one. 95% of everything you worry about that might happen, that could happen, never does. Never even an issue. And we waste a lot of energy worrying about things. Now, what I was worrying about right now, well, not really worrying, but a little stressed about, had some anxiety about, I guess you could call it worry, was something that was real, that was actually happening. And it needed to be corrected. So far, I mean, all of the things that have been suddenly pressing on us are things that were real issues, but just needed to be corrected. And, the testing of our faith produces endurance, and I need endurance. I need patience. I need strength. I need all those things. I need to be perfected. So my faith being tested, good thing, not something to avoid. I should have brought the Living Bible in here. I read James 1:2-4 out of the Living Bible this morning, and I was like, yeah, it puts it real plain. It's pretty good. But anyway, just trusting God, letting him guide us and direct us. And he was capable. He was able, and he did it. But I remember telling him, especially before going in on this financial thing, going there today, no matter how it comes out, Lord, I thank you for it, no matter what the outcome. And the outcome, could potentially have been really, really, really bad. Now we'll see. We'll see if they take any money out or not. We'll see when the deadline comes. If everything's fine, then everything's fine. But if some comes out and they have to, eventually refund it or whatever, I'm just not going to, it's going to be what it's going to be. And, and here's the thing, no matter what I'm going through, no matter what's pressing on me, or lights going out, it does not compromise. It does not threaten. It doesn't hurt or harm my relationship with Christ. That remains steadfast. That remains the same. And that's what really matters. So whatever we face, and there are things we end up facing, you guys. There are life-changing events that happen. And today I've just been impressed with when those things happen, instead of trying to run away from them, instead of trying to avoid them, maybe I should embrace them like a gift. Because God doesn't waste anything, in whatever thing I might face. God uses it to do a work in me. See, I think that financial thing, now we prayed about it before we went in, and we asked the Lord to give us the right person, to give us favor, to make sure that they checked everything and that they would see, because surely there must be an easier way to do this. But, sometimes we make things really difficult when we can make it simpler. And God did exactly what we asked him to do. But even if he'd done something different, it wouldn't have been any less of a blessing, any less of a miracle. It wouldn't have been. So hopefully I grew. And I think, because I feel like this was more my attitude than it was Marvin, I felt, because that guy, he had it together the whole way through. Oh, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to consider it all joy. We're going to consider it all joy. Consider it all joy. Just say those words throughout the day today and see if that doesn't affect you. Consider it all joy. No matter what you're going through, no matter what's happening, consider it all joy. Because it's going to do a good work in you. So I let you come behind the scenes a little bit and go through something with me. It's not completely done. We'll have to see what the prognosis is on the car, but it's going to be okay. Sun's still going to come up tomorrow. And God's never failed me. He's never neglected me. He's never abandoned me. He's never left me out to dry. Oh, there were times I felt like he did, but he didn't. It's going to be okay, no matter what it is. Yeah, I think I'm just going to spend the rest of the day just saying, count it all joy, more and more, because I think the more I say it, the deeper it goes into me. And that's a good thing. So you know what? Thanks for coming on this part of the journey with me. It's not quite over yet, but I think it's about there. And in the next couple of days, I bet you everything is back to just fine. But even when it's not fine, even when it doesn't feel good, consider it all joy. Okay, that's what I've got for you today. We'll probably be back with a crazy story tomorrow. I really want to tell you the story about that my mom used to tell us about how God created her, how her body was made. Yeah, it explains so many things. All right, maybe we'll get to that tomorrow. I love you guys. I hope that you are having an awesome day, even if not everything's going real great, even if it's a little tough. And I just thank you for being a part of this journey. Thank you for being part of my tribe, I'm not alone. Neither are you. None of us are. All right. If you haven't subscribed and this seems interesting to you, I appreciate you subscribing. I appreciate you guys watching these videos. I appreciate you letting me know how different things that God's doing in your lives and how he's using things from my silliness to impact yours. And I really, truly love all of you. And I pray for you guys. And I'll see you tomorrow. And we'll see what we'll talk about then, right? I love you. Have a great day. Bye.